Here we go. Fire your CMO is a provocative message for traditional marketers suffering with growth. The ANA's own study said that half the Fortune 500 are declining in revenue, and this is, of course, a problem. But they're not the only ones. Some brands are growing. Direct-to-consumer brands are experiencing huge double-digit growth of market share against category incumbents that have been building their brands for, in some cases, decades, and they're doing this over a relatively short period of time. And these guys are proliferating in every conceivable category, from CPG to clothing to food to cars to financial advice. We've counted over 400 of these on our direct-to-consumer brand LUMAscape. They're also going global, or should I say globally local. Europe, South America, Asia. This is not just a US phenomenon. Entrepreneurs all across the world are launching in their own markets these direct-to-consumer brands. But my favorite aspect of this is the incredible female leadership in DTC. Ladies and gentlemen, 30% of the founders and CEOs in this category are women, which is what I call a good start. This is not just some passing fad or internet meme. This is an epochal change to what's happening in marketing, and traditional marketers, I suggest, need to think about this, look at what these DTC brands are doing. And what they're doing is something entirely different. So I would suggest that these brands have more in common with each other than against their erstwhile vertical competitors. So Allbirds sells shoes like Cole Haan, but they have more in common with Warby Parker, who sells sunglasses. In fact, DTC in 2018 feels like programmatic in 2009. All the same similar traits, only we know how the enterprise ecosystem grew up, right? Dominated by two players, where I would say here, where there's no natural monopoly, Amazon's a different story. Here are our 7 DNA traits of these DTC brands. They range from front-end stuff like content marketing and product design, all the way through to the back end around their media purchases. Speaking of which, they treat advertising as a cost of goods sold. So they know the direct connection between spend and result. It's called CAC math, customer acquisition cost math, which effectively changes the nature of advertising from a discretionary expense to a cost of goods sold. And when you migrate along this performance curve and away from proxies and towards actual business outcomes, it increases the operating leverage. This is the reason why venture capitalists are so interested in this category. They don't usually invest in shoe companies. And it's getting so big, so successful, they have to migrate away from digital. They have taken the sort of digital aspects of targeting and personalization, et cetera, to the big screen, to television, to outdoor, to all these other categories of media. I would suggest it's very hard for these legacy marketers to build their own DTC brands. Think about razors, where Dollar Shave Club launches with an innovative business model. Gillette's answer was to launch Gillette Shave Club, a copycat business model that screams inauthenticity. You just can't compete. And buying your way in is interesting. That's one way to go. We've seen defensive rationale deals garner valuations that are 2 to 3x. The offensive ones are off the charts. They look more like tech companies. So in conclusion, I would suggest that this is a real phenomena that all marketers need to take a look at, because I'm pretty sure it affects everyone, including the folks in this room. So you should look at it too, because burying your head in the sand is not a strategy. Thank you.